It is 102 degrees here in St. Louis, so it's a good time to work on pinball. And here we have a display controller, an MPU, and a driver board, and they are all from the same StarGate game, which the client moved in his house, and then when reconnecting boards, somehow a connector was misplaced, and one of these ribbon cables turned into a toaster circuit. I was very apprehensive about working on this board set because any number of these TTL logic level chips could have been roasted along the way. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that the MPU worked perfectly, the driver board worked perfectly, and the only thing really wrong was the display controller board had a blown out 6264 RAM. So it took me a little while to track down exactly what that is, as I don't see this board very often. But we have it fixed, and you can see displays are operating correctly. I've got it in my hulk of a Silver Slugger game, and I will test all these circuits with I'll have to put the Silver Slugger ROM into the MPU and drive it with a different display, but I'll make sure that all of the switches, lamps, and coils are working. So I'll be right back with that part of the video. And here we are with that StarGate MPU, and I have my Silver Slugger ROMs in it. And I'm in switch tests right now. I'm going to test the high part of the switch matrix. Gottlieb used a switch matrix bigger than normal, which forces me to make some hackage-like things on my Pinatech tester, because I don't want to go through the trouble of making a 8x12 switch matrix tester. So now I can go back to the lower 8 rows, and I'm going to do column 2 row 2, because one of these switches, 04 or 03, is start the test over again. Okay, so that is the switch matrix. I'm going to unplug my switch matrix tester, because you can't test the rest of the game with that connected, because you need access to the credit button or the diagnostic button. So let's see, display test. So we know this works with a DMD, so I'm going to skip the rest of that. Well, I've got a LED, this is a Silver Slugger, so this tests the lower right connector on the MPU board. And it's probably good enough. Oh, here's the very exciting Gottlieb sound test. I'm sure you all recognize that. All right, now back to the beginning. We've got all lamp test. Some of these lamps are GI lamps on there, but those are all operating correctly on my fire damaged Silver Slugger playfield. And now we can test all the solenoids. And I'm doing this manually. Some of these you can't hear, you gotta see them. one's down here. Another one down here. Excuse me. Ticket dispenser doesn't do anything. I've got a knocker wired up. The tilt relay. And that's it. All them coils are working just fine. The coil drives. I already tested the switches. So this driver board, MPU, and dot controller are all good to go. Thank you so much for your patience as I worked right through this. And pretty soon you're going to be hearing, shoot the ramp! Shoot the ramp!